Hey everyone, welcome back to the realm. It's been a minute. Woo!
Mhm.
Rich is like,
He's over it already.
He's ready to. If you're not watching, Rich is making like woohoo motions with his fingers. So the excitement's not escaping his mouth, but
No. I'm
it's
excited. I
on.
was excited.
He's containing it very well.
I was excited. I'm excited to be. I was happy to come home, but and I was happy that we did what we did, and I'm glad that we're back with our official podcast schedule going on. I mean, it was
Yes,
nice to do a little bit of stuff when we were abroad.
yeah,
Kind of cool that we did what we did, and I think the consensus from everybody I've talked to or people involved is we should do more of that. So,
yeah,
you know,
Well,
definitely
done. And
done and
I'm
done.
all about that.
yeah, that was pretty cool. So yeah, but I'm glad that we're back on our podcast
Yeah, but
schedule.
it was
Like
a
you
nice
said,
break though. It was a
yeah,
nice break, like regardless. We got through the holidays, we had a nice break, and now we're back and we're gonna bring you weird news and we're gonna bring you full length episodes. So every week we'll be releasing something. So
yep.
you'll hear from us. So we'll announce the schedule, but welcome to a weird news segment. Today it is Rich, Rob, and myself, Gina. Let's figure out. So what we do, if you're new to our season, new to our podcast, I'm not sure what to tell you. You've been missing the boat. Go back and listen to the
Right?
rest of our episodes. But what we do is for weird news, we used to do rock, paper, scissors, and then our podcast grew. And so we decided to go with the wheel of names. So I'm going to share my screen here in just a moment so that we can see who's going to go first. Do you guys got your news stories ready?
I got my
More
news
like
stories ready.
it's more like the wheel of torture.
The wheel of
Why?
because
Why? You should be honored that you get picked and you get to do your story that you've spent so much time researching.
that's a joke.
Uh-huh.
What?
Because I've
Why?
literally 5 minutes before the show had to find news stories because the ones I picked out, like, so I have this like I favorite stuff. So I screenshot it and then I favorite it and stays in my photos. So then I go through my photos, go through my favorites, and it's all these stories that I thought were cool at the moment. And I'm like, oh, and I've read them and I'm like, yeah, this is one I'm gonna go with. And then when I go back to them, they don't seem so exciting anymore. They're kind of like wah wah. So then I have to scramble and find a new one. So admittedly, I have been at the 5 minute mark, like finding a new story. That's why I laugh.
All
I
right.
digress. You're prepared. I'm prepared. We're all prepared.
We're all
And
prepared.
now we're going to see what the Wheel of Names says.
Rich, Rich,
Thank
Rich,
God there's no
Rich.
shortage of weird weekly news, that's for sure.
I know,
Oh, you got
especially
that right.
lately.
I
Yeah,
didn't even
There's,
look for Florida.
that's my go-to.
oh,
Oh,
Rob is first.
It's my go-to, and he's probably got my story.
All right.
you know what?
So let me stop sharing my screen.
Hold on. Let me get to my stuffs. I doubt that you have my story.
Is it from Florida?
It is not. It's from the
Oh,
UK.
okay. Then
Oh,
we're
and
good.
hey, for those of you that don't know, we just got back from a team trip to the UK and
I saw
Europe.
some weird shit when I was there, so
Well, speaking of weird shit, UK finds men who stole $6 million gold toilet guilty.
A
It,
gold.
it turns out that a porcelain throne can also be made of gold. At
oh,
least that was the vision behind Italian artist. I'm not going to be able to say this guy's Maurizio
you got it.
Carolina's artwork
All
titled
right.
it is a literal, I'll share the picture later. It is actually a fully functioning 18 karat solid gold toilet. In the title, it's an art piece, it's
Oh,
functional.
okay.
The art piece is entitled America.
Hmm.
I was gonna ask though, I was gonna be like, well, at least we know it was an artist and not some government waste, fraud, and abuse situation.
It was initially displayed at the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum in New York City and later at Benheim Palace in the United Kingdom, where it was stolen in 2019.
Hmm.
This week, two of the men involved in the theft were convicted in a UK court. Here's the 3 things you need to know.
Okay.
The original heist took place on September 14, 2019, when a group of thieves used sledgehammers and crowbars to remove the toilet from the floor of the Oxfordshire's historic Blenheim Palace. It reportedly took them under 5 minutes to escape with the luxurious latrine. On
Nice.
Tuesday, Michael Jones, 39, was found guilty of burglary in the British court for his role in the theft, while Fred Doe, 36, was found guilty of conspiracy to transfer criminal property. They joined 40-year-old James Sheen, who is credited with coordinating the plan and has already pleaded guilty to the charges of burglary, conspiracy, transferring criminal property. And when you read like what they're guilty for, I just picture like there's a whole movie, like, right, they had to find the guy. They had to find the guy to set it up, and they had to find the guy that could remove the toilet. And then, they had to make the big plan so they could.
So like Ocean's 11.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Right.
But,
So they had to
why
get
did they steal it? But why?
Why? Well, because number 3, the toilet, which
Number
was
3.
insured for a value of $6 million, has yet to be recovered. Prosecutors say that it was dismantled and sold in parts. Jones was even questioned about having used the toilet the day before the heist. He described the experience as splendid. Was the golden toilet art? Well, art, right, is not just some guy's name. Absolutely. When this piece was installed at the Guggenheim, visitors were encouraged to interact with it fully. Another
Stop
interesting
it.
thing.
Wait.
It was put in place to be used.
Stop
They
it.
want people to use America. That's what they want.
But
So the artist, this Catalan, is described as the provocateur, prankster, and tragic poet of our times. One of his most famous works, La Nona Hora, or the Ninth Hour, depicts Pope John Paul II lying on the floor after being struck by a meteor. And yes, I looked it up in case anybody wants to see the toilet, or
Yeah.
if you want to see the picture of the Pope struck by a meteor.
and that was his art.
This is yes, this is art.
So basically he's saying that our country is an overpriced shit can.
Yeah, I could see that being what he's trying to say.
That's all right. At least it was gold.
Yeah,
I love
right.
gold.
So
Show us the picture.
okay, I got to go back to the zoomy part. There's the Pope struck by the meteor.
Oh my gosh.
Oh geez.
Yeah. There he
Okay,
is.
He's still holding on to the staff. At least he
That's
didn't drop
pretty
that.
real. That is super realistic.
I'll see if I can get it. You can see his eyes. Look at his eyes.
I mean,
He's
that
like,
is
oh
super
no,
realistic.
I got hit by a meteor.
Is that what he sounded like?
Look at his eyes.
That is so realistic. Like
I know,
the
right?
skin on it looks okay. So if you're listening to this podcast, you're gonna have to go. I'll take these pictures and put it in the show notes if I
I
can.
accidentally. There you go.
Oh, so it was in a room. People had privacy. They were encouraged to use
I think
it.
this is the actual art display from New York.
Hmm.
And but then they put it when you look up this palace, was built in the 1700s, but it's like they use it more for like Renaissance fair stuff. So I don't know. It doesn't sound like it probably was that difficult to steal, but I don't know why you would put a.
So did they must not have admitted to what they did with the toilet. I'd be curious to find out what evidence they had, like what led them to those guys.
Does not tell me that information. But
see, that's the problem with these weird news stories. There's like we have no follow through. We never get the rest of the story.
I'm sure I could probably dig deeper and check this shit out.
Literally.
I saw what
Literally.
you did there. Dun-dun-dun.
Sorry.
Well, thanks, Rob.
Yeah, there you go.
Clap
Is that
all
I
around.
didn't steal your story, did I, Rich?
No, but I think we need to put a disclaimer out there that the voice you heard was not really the Pope. That was Rob pretending to be the Pope.
Yes.
Just in case there's any
Opa.
confusion.
What did you say? I got struck by a meteor.
I got struck by a meteor. Oh no, that's somebody help me.
We're not making fun of Italians.
No, not at all.
No,
Doing
Or
our
not
the
at
best.
all.
Pope.
We're doing our
Not the
best.
Pope.
No, not at all.
We're doing our best impersonations. Okay, let's see
Mhm.
who goes next. I'm going to share my screen for this wheel of names.
Yeah, our showmanship. This is our showmanship. right here.
We're talented. All right, let's see. I'm surprised it wasn't Rich. You're off to a good start this season. Rob was the first one. Now maybe Rob will have the curse of.
What?
Oh, it's me. It's
Wow.
me.
It's a
It's
me.
me.
Okay, this is what I say to my grandkids all the time because I'll say it's a me, a Mimi, and because they call me Mimi, I preferred that. I was in denial when the first grandchild came
Mimi,
around because I was so young. I'm still so young to be having all these
right?
team.
27. How can you have grandkids?
I'm like I have yeah I'm not gonna we're not gonna talk about how many grandkids I have a lot. No, but I can. I have 10 grandkids. 10.
Holy cow.
I know. That's because I have 4 children and they all decide that it's their single most thing to repopulate the earth. So
Yeah, there you go.
don't want to stop them from their dreams. Okay. I'm gonna say let's talk about oh, God, this is so tough. I had 2 really good ones, but this one's too I gotta talk about this one because this is really recent.
Is it about a
Um,
tortoise?
no, it's not about the tortoise.
That was my alternative.
So no, this one is actually, hang on a second. I'll wait for, oh, Rich probably had to go take care of the dog. Rich has left us. So here's what my story is. It is a man in Santa Fe. So, oh, wait, first, before I move on, can you tell me the source of your article? We should probably cite that so that we're not like, did you already close it out?
No, I did not. I think it's NPR. Hold on, let me look.
I love
Yes, it was NPR.
NPR. What's the date on that story and who wrote it?
It is March 20th, 2025. Manuela Lopez Restrepo.
Oh, okay.
I can
There you go.
send, I'll put the link. I'll send you the link.
Yeah, perfect. I just want to make sure that we're citing these people, giving them credit for their stories. So
They're
my
amazing stories.
yes, my my headline is all over the world right now as well. I chose the Yahoo News, and it was from KRQE Albuquerque. The person who wrote this article is Isaac Cruz from April 10th, 2025. And the caption reads, or the title is, Man takes police on a chase through Santa Fe in a U-Haul. Did you hear about this?
The police
No.
were in the U-Haul?
Oh no, the guy was in the
Oh.
U-Haul. He
Oh.
led the police on a chase and he was in his U-Haul.
Ah.
Okay. So here's what happens. Uh this guy, his name is let's see here, it's Tracy. I don't know if his first name's in here. I thought it was. Anyway, I'll just start reading here. Santa Fe police say a call came in from concerned citizens after they heard someone in the back of a U-Haul calling for help. So I guess they were like banging on the back because I read several different stories. Officials say Santa Fe County Sheriff's Department located the vehicle in El Grancho by Harry's Roadhouse, and and the vehicle fled when they attempted to stop it. According to court documents, the driver began driving recklessly. Could you imagine like being in the back of this U-Haul, driving recklessly and attempted to go head to head with a Santa Fe police officer and also tried to hit a Santa Fe County Sheriff's deputy. The chase ended on Chorrillos Road near Herrera Drive. Not that that's important, but I'm going to just tell you what the story is. After the U-Haul ran over spike strips. So they deployed the spike strips to get them to stop. And according to court documents, Walker was trying to make a left turn. That was his name, Tracy Walker, was trying to make a left turn and instead drove on top of the sidewalk. According to a criminal complaint, Walker refused orders and was shot in the leg by an officer with a less lethal round. Police say a man and a woman were in the back of the truck. They told investigators that they were helping Walker clean out the U-Haul when he closed the door on them, locked it, and took it off. And the article didn't say lock it, but Kez actually saw this on the news yesterday.
Mm.
So I guess one of the news stations, and I don't know what it is, so I can't really cite it, had said that I guess they were helping him move. And I don't know what possessed this guy to like lock them in the back of the U-Haul, but they were locked back there because they couldn't even get out. And yeah, so he's charged with 2 counts of kidnapping, aggravated assault on a peace officer, and aggravated fleeing.
So
Huh.
maybe they were possessed, and that's why he locked them in the back. Maybe
Maybe.
he's actually the hero.
Maybe this will end up being like one of those paranormal stories. I feel like maybe he might have been the one possessed. But could you imagine being the ones locked in the back of the U-Haul and
Without a seatbelt?
tearing ass around the community? You're just, I mean, it's not funny, but I mean,
But you're laughing.
it's that nervous laughter when things are just really weird. So
But
that's
it is weird. So
that's what happened in Santa Fe just a few days ago. So we're keeping it relevant, keeping it modern. Can you top that, Rich?
Current event.
can I top that? Yeah,
Oh God.
probably.
What do you got?
Oh boy.
I got
Florida, man.
This comes from MSN, and it's from 4 days ago. Florida man, shocker. Florida man sunbathing on beach left screaming bloody murder after woman drives over the top of him.
Oh my gosh. I
With
didn't
what?
What began as a blissful afternoon. I'll get to that in a second. Now, I'm gonna get to this point. There's gonna be a
I
point.
hope it
I'm gonna get
wasn't a
to.
lawnmower.
No, no, not on the beach. Did it say he was on the beach? Yeah, he was on the beach. Yeah.
It was
Okay.
Florida.
Yep. What began as a blissful afternoon in the Florida sun ended in agony when a Jeep Wrangler. Now, what the Jeep Wrangler is getting called out for, I'm not sure. It wasn't the Jeep Wrangler's fault, but they felt the need to pinpoint that it was a Jeep Wrangler,
Wrangler.
that was the one that did it, as opposed to a Honda Accord or anything like that. It was a Jeep Wrangler. Suddenly,
Toyota Tercel.
I don't
suddenly
think the
barreled.
Honda Accord would have done as well on the sand, but
Yeah, well, it might have helped this guy out. He went to get ran over, probably because.
What about a Yugo? Do you guys remember Yugos?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we had one. We had one.
did you wash it every day?
No, no, that was back before that. But it was weird on a Yugo. The controls for the hot and cold are backwards. Hot is blue, and cold was red.
Yeah, I remember my friend's
Weird.
Yugo. It was quite interesting. It was like canary blue.
Yeah, this one was red or like an orange, I think.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get us off topic. I don't know what made me even
You
think.
derailed
It's
the
okay.
story.
It's all right. It's relevant. It's relevant. Anyway, a Jeep, he was laying in the sun on the beach when all of a sudden a Jeep Wrangler suddenly barreled over a lying man on the beach, police said. He's laying on the beach, minding his own business. Hey, honey, can you put some suntan lotion on me? Holy fuck, I'm getting run over by a car. I don't know. That's what I picture.
That's exactly what he said. It's
That's
quoted.
probably
well,
exactly how it
I'm
happened.
sure he was. He's a 33-year-old man from Ocala, Florida. He was lying face down in the sand in Ormond Beach, which is north of Daytona, on April 5th when he was hit by a Jeep, the Volusia Sheriff's County said in a statement. He sustained serious injuries. So, I mean, he got hurt. It wasn't like he just got up and ran away and said, "What the hell are you doing?" He had a broken femur, fractures to his right forearm, third-degree burns, and a cracked pelvis.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so she did some damage to him. The driver was identified as a 61-year-old woman who was attempting. Here's where it gets interesting. I think, well, more interesting. She was attempting to back into a parking spot on the beach and accidentally crossed over the travel lines and barreled over the top of them.
How
Now,
close was this parking lot to like where he's laying out on the sand? That would be.
when I was in Daytona Beach many years ago, I remember driving on the beach because they have like an area where you can like drive on the sand. They have it, like matted down really good or whatever, and you could drive on it without, getting stuck as long as you stayed on that thing. But what I'm picturing in my head is kind of like maybe like our beach down here that we have, except maybe with maybe less of a definition between where the sand starts and where the parking starts. Apparently, I mean, someone dropped the ball there. You got to have some type of safety in place there either that
I
or
wouldn't personally be laying that close to a
or
parking.
exactly. My other point is maybe you shouldn't be laying that close to where the cars are. I mean, I guess I picture in the other thing I picture in my head is, people are parking there. You back your car up, open your trunk, you get out, you set out your stuff, and you sit kind of behind your car. You can have your music playing, whatever like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
could picture that in my head. But if he was doing that, he was in an area where there was nothing else there because she was able to try to park there and went right over into the sand. Um, he's okay. The victim was identified as a Colson Janey. The local news outlet said he was left screaming bloody murder, not Bloody Mary, after his afternoon siesta was interrupted. I just got a Jeep a couple weeks ago, he said, and that's why he visited the beach that morning. This is something he's always wanted to do. Was get it. He got a Jeep too, so apparently Jeep is very heavy in this article. Uh, he said all he wanted to do was lay on the beach and relax, and all of a sudden a tire was going over my head.
See, we're laughing and it's not funny.
I'm just laying face first, just crying and screaming. The man said his forearm was broken in two places and he had to have a titanium rod put in his leg after the accident broke his femur.
I'm not laughing at you. I mean, I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing at you. This whole story is just ridiculous. Even the way that it was written, it was just
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
not laugh.
Yeah. Because it's not something that is funny. It's a serious incident. It's weird weekly news. That's why I'm bringing it up. It's something that you don't hear about all the time.
So he was like spitting sand as he was.
Yeah, but I mean, some of the words they use in this article. He says when he looked over, his body was hit, his arm was flattened, and his leg was mangled. Okay, the driver of the Jeep remained on scene, and she was fully cooperative.
That's good.
And they said there was no signs of impairment, so she just
That's good. At least it
discharged.
wasn't malicious. That's why they call them accidents.
Well, yeah,
This was a big
Yeah.
one.
yeah.
Well,
That's another reason I don't go to the beach.
we'll wish
Really?
him.
Is that like your fear, constant fear?
I'm gonna get hit by
Like
a
when you're
Jeep.
laying on the beach, you're like always looking over your shoulder, like, is that a car?
Is that a Jeep?
It
Is
will be
that a
now.
Yugo?
Is that a Jeep?
Is that a Tercel?
Yeah, yeah. I get engaged by what cars are around me, how safe I am. If it's a 4x4, might not be safe.
Pinto?
Pinto. Yeah, yeah. Yugo, we've already said Yugo more times than I've said in my life
Right.
since I've had the
Right, I
car.
just looked it up too because I couldn't remember what it looked like.
It looked like a Tonka
Toyota
car,
Rabbit. It looks like a
some kind of
Volkswagen Rabbit.
Oh
yeah,
yes,
yeah, very similar.
exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. It is
It does look like
very
a rabbit.
beautiful. Yugo, $3,999.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, they
cars.
were the economy car back then, and I
Yeah,
think you
yeah,
could
yeah.
only get them in stick shift. Was yours automatic?
I don't think so. I think it was a stick.
Yeah, because I feel like
Yeah, I
I
think it was a
think you could
stick.
only get them in a stick shift. Because
Yeah,
my
yeah.
friend got one. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll buy one, and then I didn't. So
Yeah.
Good
yeah.
move. You're probably one of the best decisions you've ever made.
I bought a Ford Escort instead. Four door.
Oh, well.
That was my first car. Ford Escort.
Well, you made a decision.
I did.
Yes.
I did. My mom had a yellow Pinto.
Oh,
She also had
Oh,
a Gremlin.
oh,
Do you guys
my
remember
dad
Gremlin?
had a red Pinto with a white vinyl top and white interior.
nice.
It was
Ours
gross.
was like canary yellow.
Oh
No,
no, mine was a Pacer. Sorry.
somebody spray painted this car. We always drove drunk cars growing up because we just like after my dad died, we just did not. My mom raising 6 kids, you just don't have the money. So we just got whatever cars we could at the time. So when we
Sure.
drove the Pinto, it was well past its prime. It's not like it was still old and used because I was like in the late 80s that we were actually driving this old Pinto. And then a Gremlin. Do you guys remember Gremlins?
Oh
Which-
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It's strangely all these cars look almost identical with
Yeah.
one feature or another that's changed, but
Yeah.
they're like the hatchback. They got like
Yeah.
a smaller bubble type look to them.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the people across the street from the house I grew up in, they worked at AMC, so the driveway was full of hornets and gremlins and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So it was interesting.
I like the Gremlin, but well, thanks for the news stories, guys. Hopefully we eased our listeners back into our next season. So this is This will be the first episode, first Weird Weekly News of the season. The season they're gonna go through May and part of June, or start at the end of April, go through May, part of June. Then we're gonna take another break so we can gear up to get ready for our Scaretober extravaganza for the year. I can't believe this year is going by so fast, so fast. We've already
Yeah, I
been
know.
back and
We are
forth to
so
Europe.
close to October right now. It's
I know.
unbelievable.
I'm really excited. Like I'm thinking costumes and bats and witches and
That's my whole life all year round.
I know your house is Halloween year round.
Yes.
That's the superpower that you and Amy have.
Aw.
I wish I was that cool. I'm just not that cool.
Mm,
I have no taste. Maybe you guys can come redecorate my house.
okay.
I'd love it. Well, guys, with that, we'll wrap up. So thanks for joining us for Weird News. Links to the story will be in the show notes. And also, if you're just listening, you want to come see our smiling faces and watch us try not to laugh at these horrific stories, catch us on YouTube. We'll have the links on our Facebook channels. Thanks for stopping by today, guys. Ciao.
Peace out.
Hot sticky pudding.
Right? That's why I was like, wait, where's the big ball?